of Hinduism, he did not employ any force. It was argumentation. How he argued, the methods of argument. They are all there in the Shankaracharya's writings. But that is a thing that has to be moderated by what we call as moral intelligence. Moral intelligence is when you do not use your intelligence in a way by which you harm somebody else, which is originally called as Pareto optimality. You do it to further your enterprise, but without causing harm. You don't set up a factory which pumps smoke into the air because you can make more profit and you don't have to spend on environmental control. So this is the third dimension of intelligence. The fourth dimension of intelligence is that what is now being called is social intelligence. And social intelligence is to be able to engage in those activities which will create a better society. Then the fifth one, which is something which our sages have always been talking about, is spiritual intelligence. Based on the premise that all knowledge is in the cosmos, past, present, future, which in cosmos we call as the Brahman. And your mind is capable of, provided it is disciplined, of linking into that Brahman, by which you are able to discover all the innovations necessary for further growth. This is what the Americans call now as the neural Wi-Fi, that you connect to the Brahman, the cosmos, and from that you get the inspiration for knowledge. And of course, in our system, you have to do these disciplines of meditations, yoga and so on, which prepares you for ultimately to be able to do that. There is then other dimensions of intelligence, environmental, respect for the environment, that you don't leave the world in a worse place than you found it, and innovational intelligence, where you search for new ways of doing the same things that you used to do before, or go into a totally new dimension. Nobody would have thought a thing like cell phone would ever be invented 50 years ago or 40 years ago, or internet in the late 50s. Nobody thought there could be something called an internet, which can at a press of a button give you information on anything that you ask for, or be able to run 6 different factories from one city, sitting in one city through the internet, or be able to send mail instantly at the speed of light. So all these are things which come out of the innovation, and that requires a certain mindset which needs to be developed. We have in the Vedic system always placed great emphasis on the mindset. Numbers don't matter if your mindset is not according to those numbers. You can have 1,000 goats standing at one place, and a single tiger can come before them, and all the 1,000 goats, even though they are in larger numbers, they will all run, because that is their mindset. You can have strength, but if you don't have the mindset, you will not be able to act according to that strength. In a circus, you can have 5 strong, well-fed lions. One thin, wiry ringmaster walks into the cage and orders these lions to climb up the bench. They will all obey and climb up. You will say, open your mouth, they will all open their mouth. He'll put his head in each one of them. The audience will clap. Question is, why these lions don't bite his head off? Because of the mindset that has been prepared. So the final analysis, the Vedic approach to economic policy making is to develop a mindset where you produce, but you harmonize it with spiritual values and do not become attached to property, incomes, so on, nor is your society going to place a high value on acquisition of material wealth. Material wealth, as I said, will produce the one-dimensional approach to material wealth will produce greed, greed will produce corruption. And a corrupt society is one which is totally one-dimensional in the pursuit of wealth. By any method, make the money. I've seen very able people rising to very high positions and then getting caught and going to jail for the most petty crimes that they can think of, considering the positions they have achieved. It's because of this one-dimensional focus. So this balance between spiritual advancement and economic material prosperity is the fundamental of the Vedic principles that should guide economic policy making, and in the process, the priorities that we have for our society, and the strategy we adopt by which we don't leave the world in a worse position than we found it. This, in substance, is what I want to say. Thank you very much.